ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now, wargaming completely ruined this tank right here. The KV2, once upon a time, was one of the most fun tanks in the game to play. Just the ability to one-shot tanks with your HE was fun, and it was one of the most played tanks in the game for years. And then they introduced a tank called the Smasher. Some of you might know it. You know, it's kind of like a much better KV2 and a tier higher, just like 10 times better. And because of that, the KV2 kind of just it was left behind. And not only that, then Wargaming decided to lower the HE. They decided to lower the HE or make it harder for tanks to HE, these lower tier tanks. And of course, the stats are not good on the tank anyway. With this gun, you're looking at what the DPM of 1900 isn't great, but isn't the best. But it did have a nice AP damage of 640. Now, it has two AP rounds, one with the higher alpha, and then you've got the second one, of course, the premium AP. It has less alpha, but it has more penetration, and you're still doing 545. But this tank wasn't about the AP, it was all about the HE. 960 damage in tier 6. You were able to one-shot many tanks. Of course, the aim time at 7.1 seconds, which is one of the worst in the entire game, and the dispersion at 0.543 is absolutely abysmal. So the new way to play the tank, because no one really, I mean, people are still playing the tank, but for me, it's pointless. It is absolutely pointless playing this tank now, unless you run it with the 107mm gun. Now, I've played this gun, and you know what, it's not actually a bad gun. It really is good. So with this gun, you're looking at nearly 2,400 DPM, and it's only got an 8-second reload. Penetration is not bad at one, well, it's not the best, but it's, you know, it's not too bad. It will penetrate most things. 167. You might struggle in tier 7, like tier 7 heavies, but the AP pen is 219 and your HE pen is only 54. But this tank, this gun, it's not about the HE. It's just a standard gun that does 320 alpha. The aim time, however, is still high at 6 seconds, and so is the dispersion at 0.407. So I run it for a few games, and I thought, you know what, I actually really like this gun, and this is literally the new way to play this gun now, this tank now, because the big gun is just not fun anymore. It can't do anything. You can only one-shot a certain number of tanks, and you know, you used to be able to come up against a KV2 and like smash it in the face and one-shot it. Now you can't really do that. It's difficult. They used to be able to shoot just under the turret ring on both of these tanks, or well, on this tank, and you used to be able to one-shot it, and now you can't really do that. It's very hard to one-shot tanks in the KV2, and because of that, not many people like playing the tank. It is boring. Why play the KV2 when you have a Smasher? And I still stick by that. There's no point playing the KV2 if you have a Smasher. Yes, fair enough, you see tier 5, but even some tier 5s now, you can't even one-shot unless you're using the AP. You use more AP than you do HE now, and that is saying something up against in a KV2. So we've run it with 107mm, and you're going to see like just how well we perform with this gun. And I think the best thing about this gun is not everyone expects you to be running this gun. So when you shoot someone, they may push forward thinking that you've got a sort of 20-second reload, but you've only got an 8-second reload, and it does surprise them, and you're still doing 300 alpha per shot. And you know what, it's not bad. This tank is so much more fun now using this 107mm gun, and it is fun. I'm going to stick by that. It is fun. The tank itself is not great fun, and I wouldn't sit there and say, you know what, I'm going to go and play the KV2 now. I just wouldn't. And that's a shame. That really is a shame, because it was one of the most played tanks in the game, and it was one of the most fun tanks in the game. But now it's not that anymore. And it is a shame, because it's a tech tree tank that people could just go and get and have fun in it, and you didn't have to buy it, and you can still have fun with a tech tree tank. And unfortunately, it is not like that anymore. It is a tech tree tank, but it's, for me, it doesn't fit in the tech tree. They've removed the T150 and they replaced it with this. This, before the tech tree, this was just like an add-on where you had to buy the T150, and then from the T150 you get the KV3, and this was just on its own. So to get this you have to grind it, but you couldn't go up any further than this. And there was a few tanks like that, like the KV13. That was the same as well. It was basically just an add-on to the tech tree. And of course Wargame removed the T150 and they replaced it with this. So to get the KV3 you have to play this, and because people want the IS4, they have no choice to play this. And with the gun that it's got, with the big gun, it's just not fun anymore. It really isn't fun anymore, and I hate to see that. Just one of the most popular tanks in the game just fall like it has done because of Wargaming thought it was good to nerf it, but yet we've got a smasher there that does things that the KV2 used to be able to do, and even better. So I just don't understand why Wargaming would nerf it and just ruin the tank. I know they wanted to sort of make it easier for the new players so they couldn't get one-shotted in that, but that was the KV2. That's what the KV2 was always about, and now I'm afraid it's not like that. So I do recommend, like, if you've been playing the KV2 in the past and you've never run it with this top gun, I mean, I did a video a while ago, like a couple of years ago, right tank wrong gun, and I run it with this gun because even though it's the right gun, it was actually the wrong gun because it's not fun when you are when you're driving it with the other gun anymore. And I think that is mainly because of the smasher, because the smasher you're used to be able to do big things with the smasher, big amount of damage, HE damage, you can even get some bounces in there as well, but yeah, this, you can't do what the smasher does now. You can't really, I mean, we bounced 640, we are going to bounce a little bit more, but unfortunately it's not enough for this this predator here. So we're on 3k damage, and I think we've done a pretty decent job, to be honest. But unfortunately we are getting a little bit of bounces, and unfortunately another bounce or two would have been nice. And of course I had to come out of sniper mode there, which ultimately has cost me the game. If I wouldn't have come out of sniper mode there, this guy would have been a one shot and we would have been able to kill him, and the SU is also a one shot. But you know what, for the gun we still done a pretty decent job. 3.5k damage, we get the ace as well, and overall I think it was a decent game. Now you can see I've had 5 battles. This is my 5 battles that I've had in the tank, just with this gun. And in that 5 battles, I had 2 really good games. Some good games, but these 2 just stood out, obviously, because they are mastery games. And it just goes to show that using this gun does work, and it is a decent gun. And for going forward, I don't think I'm gonna run, if I ever play the KV2 again, I ain't gonna run it with the derp gun because it is no fun. This tank now with this gun is much more fun than the other gun, and I'd recommend you guys do the same. Like, just try it out. Yes, it's not as it used to be, but you know, we have to get over it. Wargaming are not going to buff it, which is a shame. I'd love to see them buff the HE pen again, and so they can one-shot tanks, because that is what this tank has always been about. So yeah, it's just unfortunate there, but we are going to get a nice shot. This U Panzer here, he's going to get one shot into me, and then he's going to go back to the garage because we get a nice ammo rack. And that is what you used to be able to do with the big gun, a few ammo racks, and we've just done it with the 107mm gun, no problem whatsoever. So that's now pumped our damage up to 1.6. We've got the Cromwell over there, not too worried about the Cromwell at the moment. I'm not going to go chasing, and we are now spotted. So I just want to take extra caution because we are lower tier. We are against tier 7s, so I'm just going to sit back while I'm spotted and just wait. We do have a couple of guys over here, and now the Cromwell is coming around. So I'm going to be able to get one shot into him, and we do clear him for our second kill. So it is now a 6 versus 4. Here comes the Yo. I don't really want to be in front of him, but we are going to get him another shot into him, brings him down to a 1 shot, and now we're pretty scared of this T71. Of course, with the other gun, with the HE, of course, this would have probably been a 1 shot, almost a 1 shot to this guy, and would have done almost 1,000 damage. But you know, I don't think you're going to get more damage in the bigger gun than you are this gun. Overall, I'm sort of averaging 2k damage, at least 2.5k damage with this gun, and that is not something that you can usually do with the bigger gun. Yes, you might have a couple of big games, 3k, 4k maybe, but you're not going to have that every game. Once you come up against tier 7 in this tank, then all you're going to do to the enemy tanks is splash them with HE, and that's all you're going to be able to do. So definitely run it with the 107, see what you like. If you've never run it, if you've never run it with this gun, definitely go and check it out, see if you like it, because I do enjoy it. I enjoy it much better, but even with this gun, it's still not a tank now that I would sit there and think, you know what, I'm going to go and play the KV2. Not like it used to be. Like it before the Smasher even existed, this was the tank. This was the tank to go and have fun in tier 6. You had the SU-152 in tier 7, and these were the derp tanks, and there was nothing else like them. And that is what made the KV2 so unique, is there was nothing, absolutely nothing else like the KV2 in the game. Of course, you had the TDs, but as a heavy in tier 6, you didn't have it. And now the Smasher is there. It's completely broken, and it's just left the KV2 just to fall in its grave, and now no one enjoys the tank, which is a shame. And as you can see there, we do get another mastery badge. So we basically got 2 mastery badges in a row using the 107mm gun. So definitely worth trying. If you've never tried it, it is definitely worth trying. I definitely think for this tank is the way forward, and we just got to get over, unfortunately, Wargaming are not going to buff the HE pen on this tank with the other gun, which is a shame. But I would love for Wargaming just to reverse what they did to the tank and make it great again. Make it a fun, really fun tank to play. But it's never going to happen. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the KV2. Do you still enjoy playing it with 152mm, or do you now use this gun, or have you just sold the tank and you're never going to play it again? Let me know in the comments below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So I'm meadsy69. I will see you all soon. Bye-bye. With